Fantasy Creature Project number 6. Now we're going to apply a texture so that it looks like there's a little bit more to your person than just a standard regular person would have. So I'm going to zoom up on my face a bit, and then we'll place that texture. And all I did was go and just search reptile texture. Just because there's so many different reptile textures, they tend to work out well. But you could use anything, cracks in the sidewalk. It doesn't really have to even be from an animal. So I'm going to file and place this. Once this comes in, by the way, black and white is usually not the greatest, so this wasn't the best decision for me, but that's okay. I'm going to commit that transform and Control-T or Control-Alt-T if you're in the other program. All we're going to worry about is your face and your neck, but if you want to do it on your arms, you can do it again. You're just going to need to add some copies down there. So, I mean, if you think you might want to do it to your arms as well, then you can go ahead and put all those. I'll just demonstrate it just because it'll be easier. Let me Alt-Drag. And then I have like a copy down here. I might rotate that one a little bit different because it's sort of, different. And then a copy down here as well. And I'll rotate it just so it doesn't match exactly with the other one. Now, when you get all three of these put together, it might be useful to put them all into one and merge them into one, which you can do if you select all your layers and merge those layers. I'm not going to do that, but that is an option that you have. Okay, so I'm going to deal with just this one, which is this one. Okay, so now what you're going to do is first off, find out what it's going to look like. So go change your blend mode, try different blend modes and see how they look. So obviously the screens are the lighten modes. I'm not going to want to do a lighten. We want something a little bit scarier. Again, because I have blacks and whites, they really don't look very well. And you're going to do a lot better if you have something that's not black and white. But I will use soft light, I think. Soft light's one that I use most of the time. Actually, overlay and soft light I use the most. The overlay is going to be a little bit crazier. But I'll do soft light this time. Okay, so once you get it on there, we're not going to leave it like this, first off, because that's too much, right? But we are going to try to shape it a little bit. And so what you'll do is you'll Control-T again and right-click and choose to either distort or warp. I'll choose warp, actually, this time. But you could choose either one. And then with warp, let's just kind of make it look like, pull it so like your face would go. Like my face is going that way, so I'm pulling the pattern, so the pattern goes that way. And you just kind of pull from these different things. See how I'm doing there? Grab a hold. You'll find little handles here and there, and you use the handles to kind of make them look like they go certain places. Sometimes if I'm not clicked on the right thing, it makes noises. Okay, and so decide how you want to do it. I think that looks a little bit more like normal. All right, so mess around with that till you get it like you want. Don't worry about parts that are hanging off. Go ahead and hit your check mark. So I've got my blend mode. I've messed with that. Now I'm going to add a layer mask and paint out where I don't want it. You're going to use a soft one this time because we definitely want to have a blurry edge around these. So in your hair, and you may have to turn your blend mode back just so you can see, like turn the opacity out so you can see through it, because otherwise it's kind of hard to tell where the edges are. So I'm going to come out here. We're just painting this out because I don't need that in my hair. And it's okay if it's not like right up against the shirt or whatever. Don't worry about that too much. All right, so once you get most of it and you know that it's out, then now you can put your blend mode back on and your opacity back and then see what it looks like. Okay, so that opacity is way too much. I'm going to pull this back some. And then the other thing I need to do here, there we go, is it's covering my eyes and my mouth, and I don't want it to do that. So on your layer mask, let's take a black paintbrush and then make sure that you paint out so it's not going through your eyeballs. So your eyeball sockets don't need it and your mouth doesn't need it. And you can decide whether or not your ear does or not, I guess, based on how you want this to look. Okay? Here we go. And again, you can choose to modify that opacity and pull it back. It can be super subtle. Actually, that looks a lot better, I think. I got freckles down here, so my freckles are showing up too. But there you go. So there's that one. And then you could repeat this process if you wanted to do it for your arms as well. So just kind of that same concept there. If you have them all merged into one layer, the little thing that stretches them out is going to act a lot weirder. So be careful about that. Okay, so we've got that. I got the blend mode done. I got the opacity done. And then if you wanted to do your arms, you would do those as well.